Hollywood. A place where fame isn't just about being seen, it's about being accepted. A place where silence speaks louder than words, where smiles can be sharper than insults, and where being ignored doesn't just sting, it echoes. And that's exactly what some people believe happened to Meghan Markle at Kris Jenner's ultra-exclusive birthday party, a night many say felt less like a celebration and more like Hollywood quietly whispering, "You're not one of us anymore." The party wasn't just any party. It took place inside Jeff Bezos' $165 million Beverly Hills mansion, a place so exclusive even A-list celebrities can spend their entire careers waiting for an invite that never comes. No random influencers, no social climbers, no outsiders. This wasn't Hollywood. This was Hollywood's throne room, and Meghan Markle believed she belonged there. According to sources, Meghan arrived with Prince Harry, dressed in an elegant, head-turning outfit, the kind you don't just wear, you announce. Her smile, as some guests described, wasn't just polite, it was rehearsed, confident, strategic, like she had waited months for this exact moment, a moment to reclaim the spotlight. To remind Hollywood she was still a star, still relevant, still someone to be seen. But what happened next wasn't what she expected. She walked into the crowd, A-listers, moguls, CEOs, icons, faces she knew, faces she once mingled with. But instead of being greeted by warmth and excitement, people glanced and looked away. Some smiled, but not the kind of smile that says, "I'm happy to see you." Instead, it said, "I acknowledge your existence." No hugs, no enthusiastic, "You're here," no cameras turning around, just polite nods. And in this world, polite can feel painfully cold, because here, silence isn't empty. Silence is intentional. Prince Harry, according to attendees, stood quietly, hands in pockets, glancing around like he was trying to recognize faces, trying to remember who was once a friend and who had quietly stepped away. Some online observers later said it looked like Harry had walked into a world that once adored him but had quietly moved on. Meghan kept trying. She greeted people she once considered friends. Some responded with a quick wave, some with a soft hi. Others simply smiled and turned away. It wasn't rude, it was worse. It was Hollywood's version of, "We're fine with you being here, but we don't need you here." Then came the shift. Adele arrived, and suddenly it felt like the room inhaled. The atmosphere changed. Conversations paused. Faces lit up, not because she was loud or flashy or trying to be noticed, but because true influence doesn't chase attention, it attracts it. Meghan watched. Adele greeting Kris Jenner, Kim Kardashian, Serena Williams, all women Meghan once moved comfortably around. Some guests claim Meghan saw Adele and thought, "Finally, someone who might understand me." Another British powerhouse. Maybe this is it, my moment. Some even say Meghan once tried to befriend Adele, sending a luxury gift basket, perhaps to build a connection. But reportedly, and very quietly, it was returned. Not with drama, not with malice, just sent back, which in Hollywood doesn't mean anger, it means disinterest. Meghan and Harry slowly approached. Not aggressively, not desperately, just politely, hopefully a small chance for a warm hello, a photo, maybe even a moment that could shift the narrative back in their favor. But according to witnesses, Adele didn't look their way. No smile, no nod, no pause. She simply continued her conversation gracefully, effortlessly, but unmistakably. It wasn't cruel, it wasn't loud, and yet it was louder than anything. Because in Hollywood, people don't always push you out. Sometimes they simply stop pulling you in. Online, people didn't call it a snub, they called it a message. Some said Adele didn't reject Meghan, she just didn't participate. And that, in this world, is far more telling. In Hollywood, outrage still gives you headlines. Scandal still gives you relevance. But silence? Silence means you've become background noise. Meanwhile, across the ocean, a very different kind of spotlight was silently turning on. Prince George, just 12 years old, stood beside King Charles and Queen Camilla at a remembrance ceremony in London. Calm, poised, observing, a future king learning in silence. No paparazzi frenzy, no viral clips, just legacy, duty, history. One prince grounded in tradition, another drifting through celebrity gatherings, searching for somewhere to belong. Not mocked, not hated, just misplaced. Back at the party, Meghan kept smiling. She posed for photos, though fewer photographers seemed interested. Harry lingered around the edges, polite but distant, like a guest at his own event. And that's what stunned people the most. Not drama, not scandal, just the absence of it. Just the chill of indifference. When photos surfaced online, the internet didn't laugh. They didn't cheer. They wondered. Why does nobody seem excited to see them? Why does Harry look like a guest instead of a star? Is this what it looks like when Hollywood moves on? And then came the comment that spread everywhere. Hollywood isn't rejecting them. Hollywood just stopped caring. And in this world, that's worse. Because fame doesn't end with booze. Fame ends with silence. Some entertainment insiders say Meghan and Harry haven't failed. They've just lost their storyline. The mystery is gone. The drama is over. The interviews have been done. Hollywood isn't cruel, it's just always looking for the next big thing. And when you're no longer the next big thing, it simply turns the page. No doors slammed, no public statements, just nothing. Silent, effortless, nothing. And maybe that's what Adele's moment really symbolized. Not anger, not judgment, just a quiet reminder we've moved on. And so has the spotlight. And that, some say, is the most painful kind of Hollywood rejection. Because when people criticize you, they still care, but when they stop noticing you, that's when the story is truly over. So, did Adele intentionally ignore Meghan? No one knows. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe it was everything. But what people saw, what the world felt, wasn't just one awkward moment. It was a realization. Fame isn't about being seen. It's about being wanted. And sometimes, the loudest message is silence. But here's the thing, Meghan Markle is no stranger to silence. She's been ignored before. She's been doubted before. Hollywood once said she wasn't good enough. The British tabloids once said she didn't belong. And every single time, she fought her way back. She reinvented herself. She rebuilt her image. She rose again, stronger, louder, and more determined. Some insiders believe Meghan has one last major move left. A comeback that isn't about titles, interviews, or royal secrets, but about proving that she is more than just a duchess, more than just a headline, more than just someone married to a prince. Because here's the twist. Meghan didn't just lose Hollywood. She might have been chasing the wrong Hollywood all along. Not the one obsessed with status, gossip, and camera flashes, but the one that values authenticity, purpose, storytelling, and impact. The Adele kind of Hollywood. The one that doesn't need attention, because attention comes naturally. Maybe the real message wasn't, "You're not welcome." Maybe it was, "Stop trying to fit in, you were meant to stand out." And here's the truth. You can be invited to every party in Hollywood and still not matter. Or you can be ignored at the party and still be the story everyone is talking about the next day. Because for all the noise about Meghan being irrelevant, everyone is still talking about her. So maybe, just maybe, the story isn't over. Maybe it's just on pause. Maybe Meghan Markle's next chapter won't be about chasing acceptance, but reclaiming identity. Because in Hollywood, fame comes and goes. Relevance fades. But reinvention, that's where legends are born. And maybe, just maybe, the world hasn't seen Meghan Markle's real story yet. Not the princess, not the headline, but the woman